Yeah, it's okay. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to a new week of prosperity, week of upliftment, week of open door. I hope we enjoy the week anyway. Please, if you're joining me for the first time here, please subscribe to the channel, put on your notification bell, and please do me a favor by commenting where you're watching me from. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching me from, please. Comment where you're watching from. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my channel. Oh shit! Enjoy myself. Welcome, welcome. Please comment where you're watching from. Oh shit! Comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from, please. Comment where you're watching from. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Please comment where you're watching from. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be giving shout outs to people. I'm going to be giving shout out to people. I have 5 more minutes to start the live broadcast. So if you're joining me for the first time, please comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from, please. Comment where you're watching from. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for coming. Keep coming. Whew. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep coming, guys. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Hans M. Lodge. Where are you watching from, please, Hans? Please comment where you're watching from, guys. Comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from. Give me thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Damian Ndokako. This is a Nigerian. Thank you very much for joining here. Thank you very much, brother. Please comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Please, where are you watching me from? Where are you watching from? Francis Samuel from London, England. Thank you very much, brother, for joining us here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Please keep coming, guys. Damian Nkokan from Lagos State. That's my brother from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you very much, my brother, for joining us here. Please, who else is there? Please comment where you're watching from. We have 3 more minutes to start the live broadcast. But I want to use this opportunity to give shout out to people that are joining me here for the live stream. Thank you very much. Hans, please, where are you watching from? May I know where you're watching me from? May I know where you're watching from, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hans watching from Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us here. Please share the live stream so we can get a wider audience, and as well, please um subscribe to the channel if you're joining me for the first time. Subscribe to the channel and please do me a favor, share the live stream so we can get a wider audience. Put on your notification bell. I see Evadney Henry from Jamaica. That's my Jamaican brother. Thank you very much. I see Doc No Face, who is the bro in the background. That's Ibrahim Traore. I'm going to be talking about him today, especially. This program today is specially for Ibrahim Traore. I have the need to talk about him. Well, for most of you that are joining me for the first time, this channel is for politics and the state of politics in Africa. That is what the channel is meant for. And as well, I stand for justice, fairness, and the equity. I use my platform to sensitize our people about the importance of holding leaders accountable. Not just only that, I use my platform to promote good leadership and condemn bad leadership. That's number 2. I use my platform to lend my voice now that my voice is needed. Because it is important that we use our voice, you lend our voice now that we have the opportunity. Please, if you can hear my voice, please, can you say yes in the comment section? If you can hear me very well, clearly, please say yes in the comment section because it seems like I'm having a call. Call is coming into my phone. Please, can you hear my voice? Thank you very much, Demian. Thank you so much. Kelvin from Jamaica. Thank you very much. Evan Henry. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm a communist brother. Yes, I do. Yes, I am. Francis Samuel, yes, thank you very much. Thank you for notifying. Thank you. God bless you. So I use my platform to sensitize our people, most especially Africans, about the importance of holding leaders accountable. Because first of all, our problem started from the top to the grassroots. So we must, if we want to get everything right in Africa, we must have to start from the top. So it's important that we sensitize our people, we lend our voices, we wake our people up, and that is what Ibrahim Traore is doing in our generation right now as we speak. And you can agree with me that Ibrahim Traore has done so much in Burkina Faso. And I'm gonna be talking about him today. Thank you very much. There'll be no compromise for sure. Yeah. There'll be no compromise. Thank you. Well, first of all, let me just start because I think we are here at 10 minutes already. First of all, my name is Stanley, and I stand for what is right. I stand for what is right. I always stand for what is right anyway. Ibrahim Traore is a leader that I consider as a hero, a true Pan-Africanist, and I consider him as an icon in Africa. If you are looking for a leader that has the people at heart, is Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore is number 1. and I call him Momo Gaddafi reincarnated. I call him Thomas Sankara reincarnated. I call him Kwame Nkrumah reincarnated. I call him Ameka Cabral reincarnated. I call him Idi Amin of Uganda reincarnated. Some people might be surprised when I mention Idi Amin of Uganda. Well, let me tell you a story. Idi Amin was labeled a dictator. Idi Amin was labeled a brutal leader in Africa. Idi Amin was labeled a tyrant. Idi Amin was labeled a cannibal, that he eats human beings. Now, I want to shock you. Now, will you agree with me that Idi Amin was not all that he was projected like that, that all that propaganda, all those things were all propaganda that they projected to, to label him, to tarnish his image. Okay. Now, Idi Amin resisted the Western leaders from invading Uganda and exploit their resources. He said, no, that I cannot be a leader and the country is under my care, and I will let you to come into my country, be taking my resources and be giving me percentage. This is all where the problem of Ibrahim Traore started. When Ibrahim Traore took over power in 2022, he told the French government that enough is enough. We don't want your aid again, because they call it aid. And I don't know how you see this as aid. Okay, for instance, let me ask you guys a question. For instance, a country that was being colonized by French government, and at the point they got their independence. I think that was 1960. Burkina Faso got their independence, and now they declare Burkina Faso as a country that has their independence. There's no colonization anymore, and the same people that colonized this country, that claim that there is independence, still in that country. What is their presence doing in that country? That is a question that I want to ask. And they are still in charge of the military bases in Burkina Faso. Still in charge of Burkina Faso resources, controlling Burkina Faso resources. So where is the sovereignty? Where is the freedom that they are celebrating? This is one of the reasons why when I tell you, Nigerians, please, if you are celebrating independence every October 1st, you are wasting your time. Go to my page, both Instagram, both Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. You can't find anywhere on my page where I'm celebrating independence. It's not possible. You can't. Since I grew up, get to know left from my right, I've never one day celebrated independence, because I already know that there's nothing like independence in Nigeria. We are still under that colonialism in Nigeria. Under that colonized, we're still being colonized. We are still being colonized in Nigeria. So if we're not being colonized, why is it that our leaders will have to seek for British approval before they make any decision? Why? So I'm not going to be talking about Nigeria for now. I'm going to be focusing on Burkina Faso, because I found the need to talk about Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore is a leader. Ibrahim Traore is a true Pan-Africanist. Ibrahim Traore is a son of the soil that loves Africa with passion, just like Muammar Gaddafi. You agree with me that Muammar Gaddafi was labeled a dictator, a brutal leader. Now, me and you can agree that with what is happening in Libya today is an indication that Gaddafi has been vindicated. Gaddafi was not the problem, but the West was the problem. Why was the West the problem? Because the West wanted to invade Libya, start taking Libya's resources, and Gaddafi resisted them and tell you, no, I can't be alive. The same thing Idi Amin did. I can't be alive, and you'll be coming to my country, be taking my resources and be giving me percentage. I can't be alive, be in charge of my country, and you'll be coming to my country, taking my resources and be giving me percentage. That is how they got to say, okay, now you want to show that with us, now we will eliminate you. And they fought tooth and nail to make sure that Gaddafi was eliminated. And today, where is Libya's resources and their oil, their crude oil? Where is it going to? Libyans now have been subjected into abject poverty. Libya, as a country, for the past 15 years, there is no leadership, there's no government. Libya have been left to rotten. The African Union is just not saying anything. European Union is not saying anything. In fact, the world, United Nations not saying anything. Libya has been abandoned to rotten. After 15 years, of assassinating Gaddafi. This is the mindset of the West. They never wanted anything good in Africa. They wanted to see Africa down because they know very well the day Africans wakes up, that is the day their economy will crumble. Because what is sustaining them is the resources of Africa. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Let nobody kid you. Africa is one of the richest continents on earth. And the day Africans will unite, come together as one, unite themselves together, and decide to make Africa great, that is the beginning of the end of the West. Mark my word. So they would never want that unity to come. That is why they implanted artificial borders all around Africa, making sure that okay, now, for instance, let me ask you a question. I know that I believe so much well that I have Europeans watching me here. I also have Nigerians or Africans in diaspora in the Western countries watching me. Now, let me ask you, if you are traveling, for instance, you are traveling from Portugal to Spain, at the border, is there any interruption that you will meet at the border? There is no single interruption in any form. You will travel freely. There will be no checking point. There will be nothing of such. You travel freely from Spain to Italy, from Italy to Denmark, from Denmark to Norway, from Norway to France, from France to Netherlands, from Netherlands to Slovakia, Slovenia, Germany. They have free border, free trade. You can travel anytime you want, anyhow you want. There's no checking point. But in Africa, Africa has been subjected into abject poverty to the extent that now the world see Africa as a continent that lives at the back of the world. In fact, they call us third world country. But now you can agree with me that third world country, a Nigerian cannot even travel as a citizen of ECOWAS. A Nigerian with Nigerian passport, you can't even travel to Burkina Faso. Okay, no, let me not just leave Burkina Faso by the corner, but there's a problem right now. You cannot even travel from Nigeria to Cotonou without checking point, without checks. You must pass through that checking point before you can be able to travel from Nigeria to Cotonou. I mean, Nigeria Cotonou that has common boundary. That is the artificial border they've implanted to separate us, to divide us. And it is not supposed to be like that. This is one of the problems and one of the cause and the major problem that we have in Africa that is making us lag behind. These artificial borders. And African leaders. We have African Union. I keep asking questions. Most of the time, African Union, they do have gathering, right? They do have conferences. What do they even discuss in their conference? What do they usually discuss in that conference? Because I'm not seeing any positive change, positive effect of their gathering or whatsoever or such. I've not seen. But we have African Union, we have ECOWAS. What are they doing? Not African Union, West Africa, East African Union and all that. South African Union, they have all their, what are they doing when they have a gathering? I don't get to understand the reason why a Nigerian will have to look for visa to travel to Cameroon. A Nigerian will have to look for visa to travel to Mozambique. A country that should have been, unite together, open borders so that we can travel and do our trade anytime, anyhow we want. But we have been separated by the West because of their own selfish interest and selfish gain. And they now turn to call Africa the third world country, that we are living at the back of the world. And our leaders are not doing anything about it. Now, this is one of the reasons why they are against Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore becomes a threat. Sorry, saying something. Ibrahim Traore becomes a big threat to the West. As it stands now, Ibrahim Traore is a very big threat to the West. Ask me, how is he a threat? Ibrahim Traore is a threat because what Ibrahim Traore is doing now is exactly what Thomas Sankara was doing as of 1983, 1984, 85, I think 86 or thereabout. The same thing Gaddafi did before he was eliminated. Gaddafi resisted the West. Gaddafi stopped the West from invading his country. Gaddafi took 100% charge of his resources, of his country's resources, and utilized it And you can agree with me, during the time of Gaddafi, Libya was one of the best countries in Africa. In fact, Libya was the best country that you can travel in Africa. Libyans had no reason to seek for greener pasture in elsewhere around the world. Libyans doesn't even travel during the time of Gaddafi. He provided basic amenities. He provided everything possible that can make their life comfortable. He made sure that life is as easy as ABC. In fact, you can agree with me that many jobs in Libya was not done by Libyans, was done by foreigners, other, West Africa, other African, African countries. Sorry, guys. Other African countries, Libyans were being protected. But today, if you go to Libya today, you will weep, you will cry, because Libya have been abandoned to rotting. There is no government since the assassination of Gaddafi. There's no government till today in Libya. Sorry. What the fuck? There's no government till today in Libya. And Libyans have been abandoned by the West, have been abandoned by the African Union, have been abandoned by African countries. Libya now have become a war territory zone. So this is the same thing they are trying to play out in Burkina Faso. And you can agree with me that Burkina Faso is the fourth largest gold producing country in Africa. Underneath of Burkina Faso is full of gold. But I have a question. Since 1960 till 2022, where was the gold going into? What were they doing with those resources that they were getting from Burkina Faso? First of all, the Burkina Faso resources were being managed by the Canadian mining companies. Gold mine, mining sites were being managed by the Canadian mining companies. Were being managed by French mining companies. Was not being managed by Burkinabés. What Burkinabés gets is 20% of their resources. A country that produces large quantity of goods gets only 20%. Now I have a question. What can they do with 20% of their resources? Is it by paying civil servants? Is it by maintaining the roads? Is it by maintaining the government buildings and government infrastructure? Is it by making sure that the citizens live better? 80% of that resources, where was it going into? That is what Ibrahim Traore saw, and he took over his country. When he took over, he summoned all the mining companies, he summoned them and asked them, why is it that you guys only give us 20% of our own resources? They told Ibrahim Traore, because Burkina Faso does not have the equipment to mine. Is that enough reason to extort my resources and give me just 20%? Well, what will happen, because he already know that there is a contract that was drafted by the previous government. He summoned them to bring the contract. They brought the contract, and they found out that they still have duration. There are 6 duration that was remaining. He terminated the contract and paid them off. He paid them off. He took over the mining sites and went and purchased mining equipment and started mining by himself. When he started mining, you can see it clearly, because I keep wondering where they're getting the information that Ibrahim Traore is a dictator, is a tyrant, there's a media blackout in Burkina Faso. These are the propaganda they started selling out there to make the guy look like he's a demon. Just the same thing they did to Gaddafi, the same thing they did to Idi Amin. They sell propaganda, because you already know that the media houses in Africa have been compromised. We have corrupt journalists, corrupt media houses. That is the reason why I thank God for social media. I keep saying it. I thank God for social media. Social media is the only tool that we have as African youth. I thank God for social media. Before social media, you can agree with me that the only news that we hear is from the newspaper or from the radio stations and television, for those that has television. So whatever that you see on newspaper is what you believe. Whatever you see on radio station is what you believe. So now it is bad news for them, because there is social media where we still have bloggers, normal bloggers that can travel around, find out the truth and put the truth out there. So that was what they were trying to do to Ibrahim Traore. First of all, they used Michael Langley of Africom. Africom was established in Africa to oversee the activities of Africa, making sure that Africa will never rise. That was their main purpose of establishing Africom in Africa. They are telling you that the reason why they established AFRICOM was to help Africa to fight terrorism. That was all lie fallacy, all lies, brutal lies. Now, let me ask you a question. It took America only 12 hours to destroy Iranian, missile site. Only 12 hours. 12 hours to destroy missile site. Now, do you think it will take America 2 weeks to eliminate all the terrorists in the bush in Africa, across Sahara, countries, across Sahara region? Do you think it will take America 2 weeks to eliminate those terrorists? Because those things have been orchestrated to distract, to distract people, to distract Africans, so that they can have an avenue for them to, take charge and take hold of our resources, telling us that they are helping us to fight terrorism. Meanwhile, they are, Now, I have a question. Those terrorists in the bush, who owns those private jets that drops food for them? Who owns those private jets? I mean, who owns those flights, those helicopter that drops food for them in the bush, that drops ammunition for them in the bush? Does terrorists? A terrorist does not. These are illiterate too. Did they know what is called flight? Did they know what is called helicopter? How did they get to know? And where are they purchasing those ammunitions from? That is a critical question that every African should be asking. Don't be carried away. They're telling you that French government is giving aid to Burkina Faso. This one is giving aid. British government is giving aid to Nigeria. Do you think it's a tick for that? You see, listen, it's vice versa. What you give me, you give and take. When they give you, they take from you. They give you one, they take 15. In fact, when they give you one, they take 100. Now you can imagine a whole country receiving 20% of their own resources. Meanwhile, 80% of the resources, where is it going into? That is what got Ibrahim Traore mad. Ibrahim Traore said, no, under my regime, this can never continue happening. We will take our resources back. And when he started reclaiming the resources, that is when French government got mad. They started fighting tooth and nail to eliminate him, going through Ivory Coast, conniving with Ouattara to invade him. And all these things have been happening. There's no single West African leader or African leader that said anything against what the West was trying to do to Ibrahim Traore. And not just only that, when Ibrahim Traore reclaimed the mining site, he purchased equipment and started mining by himself and looked around. A country that have got their independence since 1960. I think if you got your independence and you are free, now you are in charge. You should be in charge of your resources. You can imagine for the past 50 years, Burkina Faso cannot even boast of 3,000 kilometer paved road. If you have been to that country before the Ibrahim Traore came on board, if you have been to that country before Ibrahim Traore came on board, you will get to understand from Ouagadougou down to Fada, from Fada down to the border between Mali and Burkina Faso, the road is nothing to write home about. I mean, that is ECOWAS road, though. I'm even talking about ECOWAS road. What about inside? Burkina Faso does not have road. For the past 50 years, a country like Burkina Faso, that fourth gold largest producing country in Africa, cannot boast of 3,000 kilometer paved road. Is that not insane? Is that not insane? That is pure wickedness that have meted on these people. And you have the mind to call a leader that having good intention for his people. You call him a terrorist. You call him a tyrant. And even some Africans. I mean, sometimes I keep wondering, where are we heading to? Where are we heading to? And when he looked around, he said, no, our country has been subjected to, abject poverty, and then there's no good road, there's no good cost of electricity. He looked around and he said, no, what will happen? He will summon all the construction companies that are in Burkina Faso. He summoned them all. Because the game they play with the construction companies, most especially the politicians, the game they play, like most especially in Nigeria. Let me tell you, if you're in Nigeria, listen to me. What your government does with the contractors, that's why they will always bring in any kind of contractor. They will deal with these Lebanese companies and Indian companies. They will bring them in and tell them, now I'm giving you this contract of 10-kilometer road. And I'm going to pay you 1 billion to reconstruct this road. Listen, inside that 1 billion is what they will put out there to the public. Inside that 1 billion, Your state government will tell the contractor that inside this 1 billion, I have percentage that will take 30%. And you know 1 billion, 30% of 1 billion is 300 million. Now, when your state government remove 300 million as their own personal interest, their own personal percentage from that project, what is left for the contractor is 700 million. Now, the local government chairman, okay, the senators will come for their own benefit, for their own percentage. You give senators, give the House of Rep members, the House of Assembly members of that constituency, you give them, let's say 200 million. What is left with you is 500 million. Then the local government chairman of that local government, of that that road where you are supposed to carry on that project, will come and tell you have to give me a percentage. You give him 100 million. What is left with the contractor is 400 million. Now, other small expenses and all that. At the end of the day, you see that the 1 billion that they put out there for that project, what the contractor got was just only 400 million. And now let me ask you, how do you think that a contractor will use 400 million to construct 10-kilometer road? Is it possible? That is why you are seeing most of your roads are being abandoned. Most of the road that they put out there, tell you, we have commissioned this road. The contractor will start work. What the contractor will do is to bring payloaders, bring caterpillars and park there, bring shafts and then pour there. Do the more you look, the less you see. Small, like 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 3 weeks, they will stop work. You will never see them again. And there will be no prosecution. Because why? They've already collected their own percentage. That project will be abandoned. Before you know it, after 1 year, the contractor will come and be taking his equipment out, and nothing will happen. That's how that money will die off. That 1 billion will die off. The road will not be constructed, and nothing will be done. The contractor will not be arrested. The contractor will go comfortably back to his country, and nothing will happen. This has been happening in Nigeria. This is what we have been going through. You will have abandoned projects. Do you know how many abandoned projects we have in Nigeria? And no prosecution. Nobody have gone to jail for it. And people's, public fund. Nigerians, a lot of things have been happening. So that's what Ibrahim Traore saw. He said, no, I don't want your job again. You contractors, you guys should go. He asked them to leave. They left. What did Ibrahim Traore did? He went and purchased equipment. Over 1,000 equipment. You can imagine 1,000 construction equipment, including payloaders, including bulldozers, including excavators, including compactors, trailers, truck. Then name them. He purchased over 1,000 of it. Now, I want to ask you a question. How much is payloader? How much do you think one payloader will cost? These are brand new equipment. How much do you think one payloader will cost? He purchased over 1,000 equipment. You know very well that Burkina Faso has a landlocked. They don't have a seaport. So all the equipment landed at Ghana port. So they took them from Ghana port down to Burkina Faso, which people experienced. People saw it, and a lot of people made video. This is not, I'm not telling you Kokambu, I even made a video about it on my channel. He bought over 1,000 equipment. This is just within the space of 2 years. Somebody that have been in power just for 2 years. Somebody that you labeled a dictator. Somebody that you labeled a tyrant. Somebody that you labeled a brutal leader. Just within the space of 2 years, he achieved this kind of achievement. Within the space of 2 years, he reclaimed the mining site. He purchased over 1,000 equipment. And the sweetest part of is that he did not even travel out of Burkina Faso to look for people that will come and make use of this equipment. He sent his people out to go and learn how to make use of those equipment, and they came back and started making use of the equipment. The Burkina Faso now is under construction by Burkina base. He employed his own people. Now, you can imagine how many thousand jobs that this guy have created already. Are we going to be talking about the affordable homes that he's building in Fada? Are we going to be talking about the power plant that he's building that will make sure that Burkina Faso have 24 hours electricity? Now, are we going to be talking about the construction of government buildings, infrastructures? Are we going to be talking about free education? Are we going to be talking about medical facilities? Where are we going to be starting? Where are we going to start from? That is the kind of person that you are labeling a dictator. And African leaders are quiet about it. Kudos to John Mahama, is Ghanaian president. Kudos to him. I know very well people like John Mahama is a true Pan-Africanist as well and have Africa at heart. In fact, from the step of Mahama, I've already seen that the Ghana in future, in their future is bright, because John Mahama seems like he has similar, dream of that of Ibrahim Traore. And this is the kind of leaders that we want in Africa. This is the kind of leader that we want in Africa. Now, Ibrahim Traoré achieved all these things. Now, if you go to Burkina Faso today, Ibrahim Traoré is being protected by his own people. I'm not telling you things that you see on the internet. I'm not telling you those AI videos that you are seeing on the internet. No. I'm telling you real life stories. What I'm telling you, a lot of YouTubers have traveled to Burkina Faso. People like Wodemaya have been there. People like Tayo Aina has been there. Somebody like Stephen Duku has been there as well. Somebody like what's it called? Go with Ali has been there. All of them, these YouTubers that I'm talking about, their stories are similar. All they give is positive news about Burkina Faso. I was surprised one day. I was watching on YouTube. I saw a journalist, African journalist, was saying all sorts of things against Ibrahim Traoré, that there is a media blackout in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso are being subjected into abject poverty. Listen, there's never in the history of Burkina Faso, since Ibrahim Traoré took over power, there's never been a media blackout in Burkina Faso in any form, in any sort. They have never. Instagram is working in Burkina Faso. Twitter is working there. Facebook is working there. YouTube is working there. Every media, social media handle, platform is working in Burkina Faso. So where is the media blackout that you're talking about? So when we see good, we encourage good. When we see evil, we call evil evil. We must learn to call a spade a spade. It's very important. We can't continue, seeking for, better society, good Africa, where we can. Listen, I said it time without number. If you cannot agree with me, I want you to agree with me now. Africa is richer than Europe. Africa is more wealthy than Europe. In fact, for the matter of fact, after Second World War, the resources that was used to rebuild Europe, 70% of it came from Africa. 70% of the resources that was used to rebuild Europe today came from Africa. So that means that Africa have added so much value in this world. So that word, third world country, it irritates my ear. It irritates my ear. It's because that we have puppets as leaders. That is why we have been sidelined, we have been ridiculed, we have been mesmerized. Now, for instance, I don't see any reason why any African youth should be jumping Mediterranean Sea to cross to Europe for greener pasture. I don't see any reason for that. Because why? We have all it takes. If Ibrahim Traoré can achieve this within the space of 2 years, it means that a country like Nigeria, there shouldn't be any reason why we as Nigerians should be outside Nigeria looking for greener pasture. There shouldn't be any reason why me as a Nigerian should be outside Nigeria looking for greener pasture. If a small country like Burkina Faso can achieve such milestone within the space of 2 years, do you know how many million barrels of oil Nigeria produces in a week? Do you know? And we just, the refinery that we are using now is just, Dangote refinery. A big country like Nigeria was not having any functioning refinery apart from Dangote's refinery. A big country, a wealthy country. Our problems are these leaders, these puppets. And even to the extent, they wanted to frustrate this Dangote refinery, if not the grace of God. They wanted to frustrate that refinery, making sure that that refinery did not work. But as God may have it, it's functioning. A country like Nigeria that produces such... Do you know that Nigeria produces oil more than UAE, United Arab Emirates? Nigeria produces oil more than Saudi Arabia. Nigeria is a wealthy country. There's no mineral resources that you can think of in the world that Nigeria does not have. Nigeria is richly blessed. Why is the people still subjected into abject poverty? Few individuals are the ones gathering this money, packing this money, and I keep asking questions. What are they going to do with this money? Corruption. Corruption is what kept Nigeria where Nigeria is. And listen, this corruption that we are even crying, that corruption it started from the grassroots. This corruption in Nigeria now becomes a norm. It seems like it's a normal thing now. Corruption in Nigeria now seems like is a normal thing. Because an average Nigerian thinks that entering into politics is an avenue to become wealthy. When a politician in your constituency wins local government chairman, the next thing he do is to come to church to give thanksgiving. Do you know why he's giving thanksgiving? He's giving thanksgiving because his family is out of poverty for life. Because he's going there to accumulate wealth for himself, for his children, for his unborn children, for even his fifth generation. That's why he's giving testimony. He's not giving testimony that job has been given unto him to make sure that his people enjoys dividends of democracy. That is why today, after I understand the fact that Tinubu is corrupt, I'm not even shying away from the fact that Tinubu is corrupt. Tinubu is so corrupt. But listen, before Tinubu came to power, during Buhari's regime, during Jonathan's regime, local government chairmen used to receive not even up to 100 million allocation every month. Not even up to 100 million. Let's, for instance, my own local government does not even receive up to 100 million allocation every month. I mean, during Buhari's regime. But since Tinubu came to power and subsidy was removed from the petrol, and when subsidy was removed, Tinubu doubled the allocation of the local government and even the allocation of the federal of the state government. Now, local government receives over 400 million naira every month. And I have a question. Tinubu has been in power for 2 years, and most of this local government has been they have been in charge of the local government for 2 years. Now, calculate 400 million times 24. What have they been doing with that 400 million that they receive every month? Nothing. If I show you my own local government, the entrance, the road that leads to my own local government, you will cry. That is a local government that have received over 10 billion naira. Over 10 billion naira allocation for the past 2 years. And the road to that local government is nothing to write about. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you think this is, I mean, if these things are not giving you headache, bro, this is giving me, sometimes my head pound. I keep wondering, what did we do? What is our crime? What is our offense? That our people will be subjected into such abject poverty. Despite that there is funds available, there is money. Nigeria is a wealthy country. Nigeria is a wealthy country. In fact, the state of Nigerians' wealth, there shouldn't be any reason why you will ask a child, why you did not go to school today? He tell you, my father never paid my school fees. There shouldn't be any reason for that. There should be free education from primary to tertiary institution. There should be free education. There should be free education. And civil servant has to be paid well. You can imagine a country that produces million barrels of oil every day. Civil servant earns listen, let me tell you, for those of you that doesn't know about Nigeria, Nigeria's minimum wage is 70,000 naira. And 70,000 naira is less than $50. For those of you, this is not before, this is now as I'm talking to you. In this 2025, in 21st century, Nigeria minimum wage is less than $50. And Nigerians think this is normal. Nobody says anything. Nobody does anything. Everybody is quiet. You don't want to die. You don't want to die. You don't want to speak up. You don't want to speak up. You would die as a coward if you fail to speak up. You can't give an excuse that you cannot speak up because you have social media platforms. There's nobody on this earth, even grandmothers have social media handles in the village. So if you use your social media handle to lend your voice, it is not a crime. What you are looking for, what you are seeking for, is for better leadership, not a crime. Nigeria as a country receives, Nigerian civil servants are being paid less than $50 as a minimum wage in Nigeria. Now, I have a question for Nigerian civil servants. What can you do with $50 in a month? For those of you that pays house rent, for those of you that have children that will have to go to school, you pay school fees. For those of you that will have to pay transport to work, for those of you that have to clothe yourself, clothe your children, take care of your family, feed yourself. What can $50 do for you in a month? That is a question. A country that pays its citizens less than $50 as minimum wage. And mind you, it's not all states that pay this money. A lot of states refuse to pay this $50 as a minimum wage. And listen to me, civil servant. I keep asking questions. What is the benefit of civil servant, retirement benefit of civil servants in Nigeria? Somebody will serve his country or her country diligently for 35 good years. At the end of the retirement, when the person is about to retire, what the person will be paid is less than $1,000 for 35 years. And you are complaining of poverty. And meanwhile, local God, listen, if this is not funny, I'm not doing skit. I'm not trying to make you to like me. This is something that is eating me up. This is something that is eating me up. Listen, do you know that the ordinary shoe cobbler on the street, is more comfortable than a civil servant that sits in the office under air condition in Nigeria? Do you know that? Civil servant retirement benefit is nothing to write home about. Nothing. The other day I was watching a police officer that was complaining that he was paid 2,080,000 naira after serving Nigeria 35 years. After serving his country 35 years, all he could get was 2,080,000 naira. That is less than $1,500 after serving his country for 35 years. What can he do with 2 million naira in this present age, where when you go to the market with 1 million naira to buy food stuff that will last for you for 1 month, that 1 million naira will finish? How much is a bag of cement? And few individuals are enriching themselves. Listen, Nigerian politicians are super extremely wealthy. Nigerian politicians, they are super extremely wealthy, from the grass to the top. Now, let me tell you a story. I have a story that I want to tell you. There is from 2018 to 2022, we had a local government chairman. This is a young guy, a very young guy, maybe with few years, a very young guy. He had nothing before he became local government chairman. He had absolutely nothing. Amechi Hansen is somebody that I know very well. He had nothing. But you know what he does? He was an errand boy to the former, state governor. Before the former state governor became a governor, he was an errand boy to him. He was running an errand for him. We said him, go and do this for me, go and do that for me. To the extent when the man became a governor, he bought him Toyota Camry, this Toyota Camry light, tiny light. He bought him Toyota Camry. That was the first achievement that guy achieved. Now, you agree with me that Nigeria election is not election, it's selection. So you impose somebody that will suit your convenience, somebody that will protect you, and the two of you can work hand in hand in corruption. That's what they do in Nigeria. There's nothing like election. Your vote does not count. Yes, I'm telling you the gospel today. In Nigeria, vote does not count. What count is when you have, if you're an aspirant, if you have long leg, if you have good relationship with the governor or good relationship with the president, you are good to go. You definitely win the election. Whether anybody vote for you or nobody vote for you, you will definitely win. That is Nigerian state of politics. Now, this young guy became this young guy was settled by his boss to become local government chairman. That is what they used to settle themselves, to become the local government chairman. Now, when this guy became local government chairman, somebody that had nothing, the first allocation that came, he built a very big mansion for himself in the village, and with very big high fence. That is the first achievement he did. The money that was meant to provide basic amenities for your local government, you use it for your own personal gain. The second year, He bought Prado for himself, bought car for his wife, started doing things, building churches and all that. Third year, he bought house for himself in the town. At the end of the day, as I'm speaking to you, because it's year by year, they know how to settle themselves. He was agreed to, to rule for 4 years as local government chairman. The 4th year, he stepped down. Do you know what he did? He had about, I think he had about 4 or 5 children, all his kids and the wife. He sent them to UK to go and have good life in a system that is working. In a country, the system works. He sent the children to UK, and he went there and stayed a little bit and come down here to come and play politics again. That is the state of politics in Nigeria. People have been abandoned to rotten. Now, you can agree with me, in Nigerian, state of medical facilities, in Nigerian medical system, if you're a Nigerian and you have accident on the road and you are being taken to the hospital, before you be attended to in the hospital, your family will have to deposit certain amount of money before the hospital will attend to you. If you like, let your life remain 1 bar. That is Nigeria for you. If you like, let your life remain 1 bar. No hospital will treat you unless you make certain deposits. It happened to me last year. My own elder brother got an accident. My immediate elder brother, the only brother that I have, got an accident. He was involved in an accident, and he was rushed to the hospital. He hit his head on the quota, on the road. He was rushed to the hospital. Immediately he was rushed to the hospital, they demanded for 1 million naira. And the only money that was in my account in Nigeria was 700,000 naira. I told them to give the doctor money, the phone. I told the doctor, please, I will have to do this transfer because it takes me time to do transfer here. But I have 700,000 naira with me. Please, keep this 700,000. I talked to the doctor for more than 30 minutes before he accepted to take 700,000. Immediately, I transferred the money to him, and I started doing the transfer from here. Will you agree with me? At the end of the day, I lost that my brother on the process. I lost him because he was not attended quick as possible when he was supposed to be attended to. Because of the negligence, money consciousness, they only value money more than even human life. In Nigeria today, life does not worth anything. What matters is money. Now you can agree with me. I mean, a lot of things have been going on, a lot of things. So we don't have good medical facilities, but somebody, a few individuals will be packing the money in their own pocket, enriching themselves, making their families comfortable, making their extended families comfortable. Listen, what these people do, listen, there is no single governor in Nigeria today that his children are living in Nigeria. Name them. Give me one. Give me one Nigerian governor that his children are living in Nigeria. There's none. That is another red flag. There is no Nigerian governor today that the children, our family members, are living in Nigeria. There's none. Their families are all living in UK or America. America and UK is their safe haven. That is where, once they embezzle the money, they will run to America and buy big villa, big mansions, send their children all there to go and have a good life. And they come down to Nigeria and be telling you, you have to remain in Nigeria. The outside Nigeria is not good. Here is good for you. Stay here. They use you to play politics, and you fall for it. If you're not a victim of bad leadership in Nigeria, I am a victim of bad leadership in Nigeria. What made me carry on this course was my bad experience last year when I lost my brother. When I lost my brother, I lost my cool. Because that was the only brother that I had in this life. I have no other brother. Only me and him. He was my gossip partner. He was everything. In fact, he was somebody that I can, relate with, talk with, share things together in common. Because of bad road, because of bad leadership, because of bad medical system, I lost him. And you think I'll be happy about what is going on in Nigeria? I can't. My other sister called me, say, hey, stop this thing you're doing. I don't want anything happen to you. They will come for you. I tell her, see, listen, let me tell you, I'm 41 years old. If I died now, I did not die too early. Sincerely speaking, I have children already. So at least my son can carry on. I can't be scared. I can't be living, suffering and smiling. Somebody is oppressing me and you force me to close my mouth. I can't. It's becoming unbearable. We can't continue like this. If you're a Nigerian youth and you have social media platform, all you do with social media platform is to show off your wealth, show off what you've got, show us the kind of what you are wearing, show us the kind of house you are living. You are sick. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Even women showing their boobs and their, I mean, you are sick. You have a powerful tool in your hand. This is social media platform. It's a powerful tool. Now I have 200 and something people watching me right now. At the end of this live stream, I'm definitely going to be realizing about 10,000 views. That means I've passed on my message to 10,000 people. You can as well do the same. You can as well do the same. Use your social media platforms well. Use your social media platforms well. Social media platforms is not just all about, it's not child's play. This is a powerful tool that we have. Social media platform is what kept Burkina Faso cool. Because of social media platform, that is why there is peace in Burkina Faso today. I'm not mixing what I'm telling you the gospel truth. Because of social media, that is why there is a peace in Burkina Faso. If there's no social media, by now, America or France have already invaded Burkina Faso by now, as we speak. You saw what happened in Libya. You saw what happened in Burkina Faso during the time of Thomas Sankara. You saw what happened during the time of Amilcar Cabral of Guinea-Bissau. You saw what happened during the Kwame Nkrumah, during the time of Kwame Nkrumah, Lumumba. Name them. Nyerere of Tanzania. You saw what played out. There was no social media then. We don't have voice. All we believe is whatever they said on radio station, whatever they say on newspaper. That's all we believe. That we don't have any avenue to lend our voices. But now, 21st century, we have social media platforms. We can lend our voices. That is why you do not need to carry on placards and stand on the street. Social media is your powerful tool that you have in your hand to lend your voice. And that voice, it is now. Because Africa is sinking. Africa is sinking. And first of all, now let me say something. Sometimes I keep wondering, when these people came and they said they have established AFRICOM. Now, let me read out. They said the functions of AFRICOM in Africa. Let me read it out here. The functions of AFRICOM in Africa. To tell you that these people never meant well for we Africans. All they wanted is our resources. And not. Let me show you what they said about AFRICOM. The reason why they established AFRICOM in Africa. They established AFRICOM in Africa not for the benefit of Africans. Never. Was never for the benefit of Africans. Or for their own selfish interest and gain. Was for their own selfish interest and gain. Sorry. Was for their own selfish interest and gain. Now, you agree with me? Sorry. Okay. Was for their own selfish interest and gain. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, listen. They said AFRICOM stands for United States African Command. United States African Command. What is United States looking for? What are they looking for in Africa? It's a question. Very important question. And now they say it is one of the 11 unified combatant commands of the United Department of Defense. AFRICOM was established in 2007 and became fully operational in 2008. Its headquarters is in Stuttgart, Germany. They said the headquarters is in Germany, something that is overseeing Africa. Why would their headquarters be in Germany? I thought that this thing was established to oversee Africa. Now, why would the headquarters not be in Nigeria or in South Africa or in any other country in Africa? Why would they put the headquarters in Germany? This is what they orchestrated to make sure that we never rise. We will never, see light in any form. And these people that we are complaining about bad leadership in Nigeria, bad leadership in Africa, these people our leaders are backed by these same people. They like it the way they are seeing the corruption. They are enjoying the corruption in Africa because that corruption is what gives them the avenue to exploit everything about Africa. Now listen, the purpose of AFRICOM, the purpose of establishing AFRICOM in Africa, they said number one, to coordinate U.S. military relationship with African nations, the African Union, AU, and the Regional Security Organization. It is scam. It is a lie. They say to coordinate U.S. military relation with Africa. What do we need U.S. military relationship in Africa? What do we need it for? It's a very simple question. What do we need it for? Is it to build Africa or to destabilize Africa? Number two, they said to conduct military operation, training, and partnership aimed at strengthening security and stability on the continent. How? How? Please, viewers, does this even make sense in any form? This, training and whatsoever, does it even make sense in any form when we cannot even have our own missile site? If there's a third world war today, Africa is doomed. They're gone. They can't even approve us and let us have our own missile site. They can't even. There are some certain arms they cannot even sell to Africans. They can't. They limit our arms. They limit everything about Africa because they see us as third world countries. And you think this is funny to you? If it is funny, it's not funny to me. And then number three, he said to counter threats such as terrorism, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, ISIS affiliate, piracy, and transactional crime. Now, let me ask you a question. I said it last time. It took only America 12 hours to destroy Iranian missile sites. 12 hours. It was not even up to 12 hours to destroy. My network is down. Please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, say yes, please. If you can hear me in the comment section, say yes, please. I have horrible network. Please, if you hear me, say yes in the comment section. I have bad network. Okay, thank you very much. Now, it took America only 12 hours, less than 12 hours, to destroy Iranian missile site. Now, do you think if they really want to fight terrorism in Africa, if America really truly want to fight terrorism in Africa, do you think that it will take America 3 days to eliminate these terrorists in sub-Saharan region, from Sambisa forest down to Mali? Do you think it will to even cross across Ethiopia? Do you think it will take them, let's say, 1 month to destroy terrorism in Africa? It will not, because they have what it takes to destroy. If they really want the best for Africa, but they don't want the best for Africa because this thing is for their own advantage. They're getting something from it. If I thought they're not getting something from it, they would have fought tooth and nail to end terrorism in Africa. And that is what the main function, as they said, the main function of this AFRICOM. The reason why AFRICOM was established in Africa, but they're not doing their job. All they cared for is Ibrahim Traore is a dictator. Now, number 4, he said to provide humanitarian assistance, disaster response, and support peacekeeping operation. Do we have more disaster than they do? America has tornado, they have tsunami, they have volcano, they have earthquake, they have oil. They have more disaster than Africa. Now, why not focus on your own disaster and leave Africa disaster alone? Because we're not seeing any positive effect of your whatsoever that you are claiming to give Africa. We're not seeing it. So this AFRICOM is a scam. Is a scam in totality. If you don't believe that AFRICOM is a scam, let me wake you up to believe you me that AFRICOM is a scam. Now, for labeling Ibrahim Traoré as a dictator and leave somebody like Museveni of Uganda, leave somebody like Obiang of Equatorial Guinea, leave somebody like Paul Biya of Cameroon, leave somebody, okay, let me not mention even Nigeria because Tinubu, he just has only 8 years to spend. Because Tinubu is a tyrant, everybody knows that. Forget about all these shenanigans. Tinubu is a tyrant. With what is going on in Nigeria today, if you're in opposition, your life is at stake. If you are a member of APC, you are safe. That is why Okowa ran to APC and he became a saint. Somebody that embezzled $1 billion of Deltans, and nothing is happening. He's not in jail. He's not. I mean, Nigeria has a problem. Nigeria has a problem. So if they are really fighting for a tyranny in Africa. I think they should start with Museveni of Uganda, because we all know very well what Museveni is doing to the people of Uganda. He subjected them into abject poverty. Somebody that have held on to power for 40-something years and no positive effect. People have been, suffering and dying. That is pure tyranny, and they're not even talking about, because he's a puppet. Museveni is a puppet. He allowed them to invade Uganda and take the Uganda resources, so he's good to go. Somebody like Pobia is also a puppet. Somebody that Pobia cannot even stand on his own. 90-something years old man cannot stand on his own without holding anything for consecutively 2 minutes, and he still remain in power. And you've not labeled him a dictator. He's a young, vibrant youth that have the best of the interests of his people at heart, that want to see his country, revived. You label him a dictator. Go and invade them. We are all alive. We are all awake, and we will use our platform to speak against it. So that is it. That is it. So I'll be stopping here for now, guys. I really appreciate you guys for joining me here, because I've spent 1 hour plus. My throat is already dry, and I have things to do this morning. So I'm very happy that I spent a little bit of time with you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Please never forget, the super chat is active there. The super sticker also is active. The gift is active. Never forget, we have a project. I've already told you guys what the project is all about. First of all, I have a dream and a project that I have that will be commencing January 2026. And when it's happening, I'll be putting it out there. You guys will be seeing what's going on live stream and also in documentary. I'll be documenting everything. So never forget. Thank you very much for joining me here. Thank you for your comment, for your likes, the share, and everything. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. But never forget, I dropped a video yesterday. I also dropped other long form videos. Please do not forget to go down to my channel, watch my videos, and comment your opinion, say your opinion, and ask questions. I'm always active to answer any question at any time. Please do not feel free. We are here, family. We are family here, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Put on your notification bell so that you'll be notified when I drop a video or when I come on live stream. I do come on live stream every 9 a.m. Gambia time. Don't forget, 9 a.m. Gambia time. Put on your notification button so that you'll be aware. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me here. I really appreciate every single one of you for spending time with me here. It is not easy anyway. We spend 1 hour plus. It is not easy. My throat is already dry. So catch you guys tomorrow by 9 a.m. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Bye-bye.